So now I really want to try this out. So let's create a new directory called models. And then in that directory, let's create a file called snack.model.js. Save it. And now we will import what we just created in our schemas folder. So const snack model equals require, and it is in the schemas directory. So /schemas/snack.schema. Perfect. So this object here will be what we use to insert documents into this collection. So let's just try to insert our first document. And I won't go too in depth on how to perform operations because that will be the next topic, but I need to do this in order to show you the different options and configurations for schemas. So let's create a new method called insert. And it will be a function. So since we want to work with promises, we should probably include Bluebird in our schema file. So let's go over here and let's define mongoose.promise equals require Bluebird. There we go. And next I will be implementing the actual code that will be performing operations into our database. So let's go back over to our snack.model.js and let's create a new snack. What we need to do is define a variable that instantiates a new snack. So const new snack equals new snack model. Now let's define it here. We want the name to be popcorn. We want the store property to be true. We want the savory property to be true. We want the sweet property to be false. And we want the requires prep property to be true. There we go. Now we need to invoke a method called save. We will invoke the method on our new snack object. Okay, and now let's chain a then onto it. If you're not familiar with promises, I suggest you do just a quick read up on what they are, but that is why we imported our Bluebird library. So dot then and result arrow function console.log it was successful and dot catch error something went wrong. There we go. Now we just want to export this. So export default snack model and save. Okay, since we exported this, we want to import it into our index.js where our controller lives. So let's go over to index.js and let's import it. Var snack model equals require, and it lives in one directory out, and the directory is models slash snack.model. We are going to clean this up and separate out the controllers from the endpoints in just a minute, but right now let's just create a quick GET request, router.get. We just want to see this working. Snack/new will be the endpoint that we are creating, and we will want to create a controller called create new snack. Now let's implement the logic for that controller. Create new snack, and let's just call our method that we created. So snack model dot insert. That's all we're going to do for this example, because we'll go more in depth later. And we will also clean this up and separate out our controllers from our endpoints. Okay, so I used the export directive in our schema and model files, and this is a common mistake, and I'll show you what will happen if we go and try to run this Node application. If you want to use export, you'll have to take an extra step. So let's try and run it. It's going to throw an error, and that error has to do with export. In future versions of Node, this will probably not be a problem, but on our current version, you would need to use Babel. So to get around this, let's just use module.exports. So we will change export default snack model to module.exports equals snack model. Do the same thing in snack.model. Module.exports equals snack model. And this will fix our error. Okay, we did not run the Mongo daemon, so let's do that. And npm start has to happen after we run the Mongo daemon. So that's another common error. Awesome, success. Now let's hit our endpoint /snack/new. I changed the database that we're connected to back to our local here, MongoDB, and then localhost port 27017/snacktime. Type in localhost port 3000/snack/new and hit enter. Okay, now we made the request and we see the console log. It was successful. We didn't return anything, so this is just going to load indefinitely because we didn't send any JSON to the client. We can do that in the future, and I'll show you how to do that. But right now we're going to kill this request and check our database. Let's run the Mongo shell use snack time db dot snacks dot find. There it is. I want a better view of this, so I'll use pretty. There it is. Alright, that's a lot easier to read. So we have our object ID, which was dynamically created by MongoDB. Store, true. Savory, true. Sweet, false. And requires prep, true. And there's 3 new properties here. Created at, updated at, which are the same because it's only been created, and underscore underscore v. That's the version. You can increment this version property every time you update the document, so you can know where you're at, where this document stands in its life cycle. Now I want to clean up our project a little bit because we're going to start building it out, and I want to show you the proper way to separate our concerns so that any given file has its own specific purpose.